Welcome, dear viewers. Today we delve into a topic of great relevance to parents and caregivers: separation anxiety in babies. This is a common emotional challenge that many babies and toddlers face, typically between the ages of 6 months and 3 years. As they grow, babies become more aware of their surroundings and their dependence on their caregivers. This newfound awareness can lead to feelings of anxiety when they are separated from their primary caregivers. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly is separation anxiety? Well, it's a developmental stage where a child experiences distress when separated from their primary caregiver. This is a completely normal part of their development, and most babies grow out of it. It's a sign that your child is developing healthy attachments. When it comes to identifying separation anxiety, there are several signs and symptoms to watch out for. Your little one might show signs of distress when you're not in sight. They might resist being put down for sleep, or they might become uncharacteristically clingy. Other signs can include an increased level of fussiness, especially during periods of separation, or a sudden change in appetite. Remember, every child is unique and might exhibit different signs. It's important to know your child and understand their individual patterns and behaviors. Just as each child is unique, so too is their experience with separation anxiety. But don't worry, we're here to help you navigate through this. In this series, we will be providing you with practical tips and strategies on how to handle separation anxiety effectively. We'll discuss how to gradually increase separation time, how to leave your baby with familiar caregivers, and how to provide comfort during these periods of separation. Stay tuned as we unpack this matter further, providing you with practical tips on how to effectively handle it. So what exactly is separation anxiety in babies? Let's delve into it. Separation anxiety is a normal developmental stage that often emerges between 6 months and 3 years of age. As babies grow, they become more aware of their surroundings and the people who provide them with care and comfort. This increased awareness is a double-edged sword. While it aids their development, it also makes them realize their dependence on their caregivers, sparking anxiety when separated. Imagine being a baby and suddenly becoming conscious of the vast world around you. You start to notice that you rely on certain individuals for your basic needs. Now imagine those individuals disappearing, even for a short while. A daunting prospect, isn't it? That's what separation anxiety feels like for a baby. This anxiety is not a sign of distress, but rather an indication of a strong bond with the caregiver. It's a testament to the trust the baby has in the caregiver, and their understanding that the caregiver is their source of safety and security. It's important to remember that separation anxiety is not a reflection of poor parenting or a troubled child. It's a normal part of growing up, a phase that most children experience as they explore their independence while still craving the reassurance of their caregivers. While separation anxiety can be troubling for both babies and parents, it's a temporary phase. As children grow, they begin to understand that their caregivers can leave and return, and that they are safe even in their absence. This understanding is a crucial step in their journey towards independence. Understanding separation anxiety is the first step towards managing it. Now let's look at some telltale signs. Identifying separation anxiety involves being alert to certain signs and behaviors. So what are these signs? Well, they can vary from child to child, but there are some common symptoms that you can look out for. One of the most obvious ones is excessive crying or fussiness when a parent or primary caregiver leaves. This isn't just the usual whimpering when you step out of the room. We're talking about full-blown, inconsolable crying that only seems to cease when you return. Another common sign of separation anxiety is clinginess. Your baby might start to exhibit an intense desire to be held by you and only you. They may become upset or anxious when other people try to hold them, even if they're familiar faces. This can be exhausting for you as a parent, as it can feel like you can't have a moment to yourself without your child becoming upset. A child with separation anxiety might also show a reluctance to interact with strangers. This could manifest as your child refusing to play with others or becoming visibly anxious around people they don't know. It's important to remember that a certain amount of stranger anxiety is normal for babies and toddlers as they start to understand the world around them. However, if this fear seems excessive or is affecting your child's ability to socialize, it could be a sign of separation anxiety. Then there's the issue of sleep disturbances. Your child might have trouble falling asleep without you present, or they might wake up crying in the middle of the night, needing your reassurance to settle back down. Remember, every child is unique and might not display all these signs. Some might even show other behaviors not mentioned here. What's crucial is to understand your child's normal behavior patterns so you can spot when something is amiss. Recognizing these signs early on can help you address your child's anxiety effectively. And remember, you're not alone. Many parents have been where you are, and there are resources available to help you navigate this journey. In the next part of our series, we'll delve into coping strategies for dealing with separation anxiety, so stay tuned. Now, as we've promised, let's explore some strategies for dealing with separation anxiety. First and foremost, it's crucial to understand the power of gradual separation. It's quite similar to dipping your toes in the water before diving in. For your little one, abrupt separation might seem like a sudden, frightening plunge into the unknown. On the other hand, gradual separation can be compared to slowly wading into the water, giving them time to adjust and adapt to the new circumstances. Start by leaving your baby with a trusted caregiver for a brief period, gradually increasing this time as they become more comfortable. This leads us to the second point, the importance of familiar caregivers. While it's natural for babies to feel anxious around strangers, they're usually more at ease with people they recognize. So when you need to step away, try to leave your baby with someone they're familiar with, like a grandparent or a regular babysitter. Now let's talk about communication. We often underestimate how much babies understand. They may not grasp every word, but they're incredibly perceptive to tones, emotions, and routines. So, make it a habit to talk to your baby about your departure and assure them you'll return. This simple act of communication helps them understand the concept of temporariness of your absence. And finally, always say goodbye confidently and happily. This might sound counterintuitive when your little one is crying or clinging to you, but remember, your baby looks to you for reassurance. If you're confident and happy, it sends them a strong message that separation is okay and that reunions are joyful events. Remember, these strategies are meant to aid your baby in adjusting to your absence, not to eliminate the anxiety immediately. These are merely stepping stones on the path to independence and self-confidence. Continuing with our coping strategies, let's talk about some more tips. One comforting method is to leave something with your scent with your baby. This could be a worn sweater or a soft blanket that you've held. The familiar scent can provide a sense of security and familiarity to your little one, even when you're not physically present. Remember, for your baby, you are their world, their safe space. Your scent is a part of that comforting world. Now let's move on to the importance of saying goodbye. It might seem easier to sneak out when your baby is distracted, but this can actually lead to more anxiety. Instead, make it a point to say goodbye confidently and happily each time you leave. This not only acknowledges your departure, but also assures them that you will be back. Try to develop a consistent goodbye ritual. This could be a special wave, a kiss on the hand, or a simple phrase you say each time. Over time, this ritual will become a signal for your baby that you're leaving but will return. It creates a sense of predictability which can be very reassuring for them. Now, this next point is crucial. When you return, greet your child with joy and enthusiasm. This teaches them that reunions are happy events. It reinforces the idea that even though you leave, you always come back. Remember, it's all about creating a safe, predictable environment for your baby. It's important to be patient and consistent with these strategies. It may take some time, but you will begin to see your baby handling separations more comfortably. These strategies, over time, will help your baby cope better with your absence. We've come a long way in understanding separation anxiety in babies and how to deal with it. As we've learned, separation anxiety is a natural part of a child's development, commonly experienced between 6 months and 3 years old. This anxiety arises as babies become more aware of their surroundings and their dependence on their caregivers. We've also discussed the signs of separation anxiety. These can include distress when separated from a caregiver, reluctance to be left with someone else, and heightened clinginess. Remember, it's important to recognize these signs early and respond appropriately to ensure your little one's well-being. To help your child cope, we've shared various strategies. Gradually increasing the time of separation and leaving your baby with familiar caregivers can ease their anxiety. Communicating about your return and leaving something with your scent can also provide comfort. And let's not forget the importance of confident and happy goodbyes to teach them that reunions are moments of joy. However, it's crucial to remember that if separation anxiety causes significant distress or lasts longer than a few weeks, it's recommended to seek professional help. You're not alone in this journey, and there are many resources and professionals available to support you and your child. Don't forget to subscribe as we continue our journey into the topic of anxiety. We've touched on a topic that's close to many hearts, and we hope that this video has been helpful in your understanding of separation anxiety in babies. Knowledge is power, and having the right tools and strategies can make all the difference. But the conversation doesn't stop here. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic and what actions you plan to take. So please Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe as we continue our series on anxiety. We're all in this together, learning, growing, and supporting each other in the journey of parenthood.